What exactly is the reason for this encounter? Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a pretty interesting video that came across my timeline on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. It is of a Ukrainian man who won a powerlifting competition, refusing to shake the hand of his Iranian competitor, although he did shake the hand of his South African competitor. Now, there's quite a few things you could say. He could be a racist. It could be the whole Azov battalion Nazi thing that's going on. Or it's about Iran supporting Russia and Russia attacking Ukraine. There are quite a few things to say here. But first, let's just watch this again. We're just going to kind of go through it and see what's going on. So you see my man right here. And please do not harass this guy. Don't harass anybody that's in this video. We're just going to kind of go through it and see what's going on. Now, you see my guy right here on the left. This is a South African guy. He came in second place. He's clearly white. He's South African, but he is not black, obviously. You have the Ukrainian guy right here, clearly a white guy. Then you have the Iranian guy right here, clearly Iranian, Persian, whatever kind of race you want to call that. Now, let's just watch as the Iranian guy wins. Okay, handshake right there with the South African guy. Now, here's the Iranian guy trying to go for the handshake. Watch. He sticks his hand out, says, hey, come on, shake my hand. Let's be sportsmen. And he's like, nope, don't want to do it.
Please stand for the national
and then he gets the flower or whatever.
anthem of Ukraine.
He asks him again, hey, man, let's shake the hand, because maybe the first time it could have been something going on. He's about to get the flower. He's like, no, I'm about to get the flower. I'll shake your hand later. It could have been a mistake or whatever. I'm going to shake your hand one more time. Let's go for it. And then you see, he's like, no. So not once, but twice, he refused to shake the Iranian guy's hand. And you can see his face. He's not pleased. And the Ukrainian guy, he's just there getting his medal, the flower or whatever. And this, again, this is the powerlifting championship. I'm not really sure what conference or league or whatever this is, but that's what's going on. You have a South African guy, Ukrainian guy, Iranian guy. Now, people are defending the Ukrainian because they say that Iran, the country, obviously, is supplying Russia with weapons. They're a Russian ally. So what's the point in shaking the Iranian guy's hand when, you know, his country is doing that to Ukraine? Well, first of all, let's just pause for a minute, because, matter of fact, let me come back so you can see me clearly. Let me come back. Just because my country is doing a thing does not mean that I agree with it. Maybe I do, but maybe I don't. Regardless of what, I am not responsible for what they do. Just like what's going on right here in America. I don't approve of what we're doing right now with this country when it comes to foreign relations. That doesn't mean I hate America. All that means is that I disagree with some things that we're doing. I still love America. I'm still Captain America, but I don't align with everything that we do. So when you see me out in public, you can't say, oh, well, your country is over here, over there, and everywhere else. That means you're a bad person. That means I won't shake your hand. That means I have a problem with you. That doesn't make any sense, especially in an environment like this where you go in there knowing that there are people of other nations that are involved. It's like having a neighbor. So let's say, for example, let's just bring it back to a little bit more realistic. Let's say you're Ukrainian and you live in America, but you were born and raised in Ukraine, now live in America. And your neighbor, born and raised in Iran, now lives in America. So when the war breaks out, do you just cut off your friendship with your Iranian neighbor? Y'all could have been friends for the past 10 to 15 years, but because the war broke out and he's from Iran, does that mean y'all stop being friends? That's ridiculous. It's bigoted and it's hateful. And it kind of reinforces the whole stereotype about the Ukrainians and the whole Azov battalion, the Nazis and everything else. And it makes people dislike Ukraine even more. I don't like the country of Ukraine as far as the government and their policies because of what we're doing as America by funding this whole war where we shouldn't even be involved. I don't like what we're doing, and I don't like what Ukraine is doing as far as their leadership. Again, that does not mean I hate America or do I hate Ukraine as far as the people. My heart goes out to all the innocent Ukrainians losing their lives. All right. But I don't think we should be over there interfering and giving our money to them. All right. But beyond that, we forgot about the South African guy, because I'm seeing quite a bit of people talking about, well, the reason why the handshake didn't happen is because he's Iranian and Iranians are supporting the war. Let's not forget of the BRICS nations. They still exist. Remember, I covered them a while back in the video. BRICS, this is kind of, I don't want to say alliance. It's kind of a strong word. I want to say a co-op, a conglomerate, a group, if you will, of countries that include Brazil, Russia, India, China, and wait for it, South Africa. So you have no problem shaking the South African guy's hand. You have no problem doing that, although Russia, India, China, Brazil, and South Africa are kind of in some kind of union together. They want to have one currency together. They want to be trade partners. And South Africa is currently under investigation for allegedly sending weapons to the Russian Federation. So this is totally fine. You have no problem with South Africa being buddy-buddy with Russia. You have no problem with the allegation of them sending weapons to Russia. That's all good. They can have one currency together. That's all good. To X out the West, to X out the EU, your allies, to X out NATO, your allies. That's all good and well and dandy. But the Iranian guy gets no handshake. Again, what this does is reinforce the stereotype some of us have about Ukraine being full of racists. All right. You got two white guys. It doesn't really matter if your country is supporting the enemy country of my country. We're still white guys. It's all good. But if you are not white, then we got a problem. That's what it looks like. I'm not saying that's what it is, but if it's not, then I can't tell. I most certainly can't. And again, just because Iran may be supporting Russia does not mean that that man agrees with it. There was a big, or still is, a big protest against the current Iranian regime. A lot of Iranians have been locked up and lost their lives. All of that because they're fighting against their government. I think that the government is largely unpopular. It's more unpopular than it is popular. So how are you going to hold regular everyday people accountable for what the government does, although the government is 70, 80% unpopular? It doesn't make any sense. But as I close, I want to say this. You can not like a country while at the same time not holding it against the people of the country. I don't like what Zelensky's doing and what the corrupt leaders over there in Ukraine are doing. Man, that doesn't mean I hate Ukrainians. Shout out to all the Ukrainians, regular everyday normies just trying to work and take care of the kids. I mean, you guys are not your government. Same thing with Iran. Same thing with any country. I don't care. China, Russia, Brazil, Iran. It doesn't really matter. What matters the most is the actions of the government. Take it up with the government the same way I do. It's like, look, if I don't like what's happening in my own country with the government, all I can do is vote, protest, boycott, do whatever I can to voice my concern, to voice my grievance. When I say vote, I mean federal and local. That's all I can do is vote and fight against it that way. Maybe even get into politics and have my voice be heard that way. Make a difference on my own rather than just saying, you know what? I don't like what's happening in America. I'm going to hate America. It doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to hate America or American citizens because of what the government is doing. The government is a very small piece of the country that should be of and by and for the people. But unfortunately, sometimes it's not quite that way. And again, you should not hold the people of a country responsible for what the government does, because 9 times out of 10, half of the country doesn't even agree with it. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How you feel about the handshake or lack thereof from the Ukrainian guy to the Iranian guy, but he had no issue with the South African guy, although South Africa is in the BRICS nations and they could have sent Russia weapons? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. That guy that did that, piece of garbage, okay? I'm not going to hold it against Ukrainians as a whole, but this guy was dead wrong for that, in my humble opinion. Now, he has the right to shake hands or not shake hands with whoever he wants. That's his right. That's his prerogative. But I have the right to express my opinion about what he did. And I think he's terribly ridiculous for that. If you're going to be an athlete, if you're going to be a sportsman, be sportsman-like, and don't get into the political stuff by holding a regular normie accountable for what his government has done, especially when you don't do the same thing with another guy who is not that much different when it comes to what the country is doing to your country, allegedly. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.